DJI Avata 2 and the iFlight Nazgul F5. What is up, everybody? My name is Anthony. Welcome back to the YouTube channel today. And today we are going to be going over the differences between the DJI Avata 2 and the iFlight Nazgul Evoque F5. So let's just jump straight into it. Just to give you guys a little bit of context about myself, my name is Anthony. I'm a filmmaker. I've been filming for 10 plus years. And just recently, I have decided to go into the FPV route. So I've only been flying for about a month. So disclaimer in the beginning, I want all of the experience. If you're an experienced FPV drone operator, I want you guys to know that I love this craft, I honor this craft, and I am nowhere close to you guys being professionals, but I just wanted to make a video for beginners. So that way, maybe I could help answer some of the questions that I had in the beginning between the different drones. And then also too, I want to create a journey with you guys. If you guys have any tips or tricks for even myself, I'm still learning this craft. Like I said, I've only been flying for a couple of months. There's still much more for me to learn. I'm learning the goggles, I'm learning the systems, I'm learning about TBS Crossfire, I'm learning about ELRS. Like FPV is a whole world in itself. So if you're an experienced operator and you're clicking on this video, shout out to you, because this is not an easy craft. I'll tell you this right now, this is not an easy craft. And so it is one of the most fun crafts though. This is one of the most fun hobbies that I have found recently that I've been loving. So let's just jump right into it, guys. So let's start with an overview of each drone. So right here, I have the DJI Avata 2, and I bought this a couple months ago. And honestly, I've really come to like it. I've really come to like it. It's very sleek, very clean. The battery pops out very easy, just like that. So I would say, obviously, if you guys, I'm sure most of you guys fly DJI products, you guys know how easy they are, how versatile they are. I use a lot of the Mavic stuff, and then this was my first intro into FPV. So this did come with the DJI goggles as well, the V3. And I'll say overall, my overall opinion of the DJI Avata 2 is this is a really good starter drone to get into. So when I first bought the DJI Avata 2, it came with a joystick, and I immediately got the controller with it just because the controller is a little more realistic to FPV. So you have different modes on here on the remote. See if it gets it in focus, but this is the DJI remote that I love. I love it. And it's very, very smooth. It's a very smooth controller. Now, there is one thing that you're gonna have to do if you do wanna fly the DJI in manual mode, which we can get into later, but you're gonna have to pop these back pieces open to loosen up the stick controls. So I don't have my sticks on right now, but if you could see it, I could turn this down and it'll stay down. It doesn't go back to center like the regular DJIs. Straight out of the box, the DJI Avata 2 is ready to fly. You basically just throw the goggles on, throw the drone in, put your controller on, and you're ready to fly. Now, one of the things that I found out quickly with the Avata 2 is that in the beginner experience, it's good to get started. However, I quickly found myself within like my fourth flight ready to fly manual. I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna jump into FPV, I'm gonna start flying it manual. So I started in sport mode, and I've quickly found myself in manual mode. And so with that being said, there are settings that we're not gonna get into in this video. This is gonna be an overview video, but there's settings within DJI that allows you to put this into manual mode. So this technically, when it's in manual mode, will give you a full FPV experience. Now, in my opinion, the drone handles pretty well. It handles decent. It doesn't handle that good when you're trying to drop in. So I'm sure you guys have seen those crazy shots. I may put a reference clip, but you know, you go super high and then you come and then you drop in. One thing I've noticed, now the footage does look okay post when you're editing it, but the drone really struggles, especially when it's windy. So the drone will constantly be chopping in the air. You'll hear it, you know, it'll just be kind of flipping back and forth. And then also too, it doesn't really handle flips the best. You know, there's been many times where I'll try to flip and it'll just kind of like sink back and try to recenter itself. So still working through a lot of details there. However, the cool thing is, so for me, let's talk about the camera a little bit of the DJI Avata 2, right? The DJI Avata 2 camera, honestly, for it being a small camera like this, is actually really good. I've never really been a huge fan of DJI, of their camera quality. However, this is pretty decent. This is a running gun. If someone's like, hey, I want an FPV shot through my house, all that stuff, and I don't feel like bringing out a huge drone and all that stuff, I will use this, and this comes out great. I set my settings, of course. I don't leave it just on auto, but I set my settings and then I go from there. However, the one cool thing that I did buy for this, because I do really love to use my GoPro Hero 13, I prefer the Hero 13 over the DJI camera. So I could put a link to this in the description, but I did buy an adapter to be able to adapt my GoPro Hero 13. So essentially what it does is it connects to the bottom and then it clips to the top. And once we get those clipped in, essentially when I fly it on manual mode, this is what the drone looks like when I put my GoPro on it. So I normally flip the screen up because at a forward facing angle, obviously like most FPV, but this is essentially what it looks like right here. So I love this, and like I said, I'll put a link to this in the description. I always fly like this for the most part because I love my GoPro Hero 13. So this is super quick. Literally, I just click the button right now and it came off. When I'm ready to install it back on, make sure that it goes both sides. Boom, and we're good to go. Same thing, take it off, just like that. The bottom comes out, bam, and now I could fly just like this. So with the DJI Avata 2, on the left-hand side, you're gonna see a little compartment for you to open up right here on the left-hand side of the drone. This is where you could put the SD card, and then you could also have your USB Type-C if you gotta plug it into your computer or anything like that for updates, all that fun stuff. The really nice thing I love about this drone as well is it has the propeller guards. So I have crashed this multiple times, especially with my GoPro on it, because the GoPro gets a little heavy. So I've crashed this a couple times, and this thing is built like a tank. So it could take it. In the box for DJI, they do give you extra propellers just in case. I'm sure for crazier flying, a propeller may break or so, but it's always good to have those on hand. So that's my overview of the DJI. Let's talk a little bit about the video settings that I use. So I normally don't use 24 frames. And I know that's kind of contradictory to everyone because everyone loves the cinematic, everyone likes the jumpiness. However, with FPV, with how fast you fly, I actually found that 24 frames was actually kind of hurting my footage and it was looking a little too glitchy. So I started shooting in 30, and 30 frames, being at the speed we're going, honestly, you can't really tell because you're going so fast. 30 frames looks like 24 frames per second when you're going so fast on the DJI, on the Avata 2 camera system, and even on the GoPro Hero 13. So I shoot 30 frames a second, 4K. I do shoot D-Log when I'm shooting with this, and then for the GoPro, I do shoot in GoPro Log as well. So that way it gives me the most dynamic range that I could use. Now, if I'm doing slow-mo, I will jump up to 60. And then the GoPro Hero 13 also has extreme slow motion as well. But for this, I'll stay and I'll max it out at 60 frames per second. And then I'll throw it into DaVinci and slow it down if I need to slow it down. Now, speed ramping, same thing. I use 60 frames for speed ramping. So I'll go back and forth between clips. And this is why it's important to kind of have a shot list. I mean, when you're freestyle flying, it's all good, have fun. But when I'm shooting for films or shooting for clients, I make sure that I have a shot list and that I know which frame rates to switch back and forth to. So that's the DJI Avata 2. Now for the moment that you guys have all been waiting for, let's talk a little bit about the iFlight. Let's talk a little bit about the iFlight Evoque F5 FPV drone. I just want to say this thing is beautiful. Look at that. Look at the size difference between these guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Look at these two. Okay. I could technically fly with this Avata on top. Look at that. Look at that right there. That's still beautiful. Okay, so a couple things about this. I don't have the battery or the GoPro attached to it, obviously, because the GoPro has been set up for my Avata because I've been using my Avata recently. But essentially, the GoPro sits right on here. Boom. Then you have the battery that you put on top. So the battery's not on here because I actually just purchased a couple new batteries that are on the way. They're not technically in yet because, you know, I did have a crash with this drone and I did break the battery. The battery's broken. I'll put a clip right here so you guys can see the crash of that. And so the reason why I wanted to do this is because I did want to take you along for the journey of me even fixing this drone to begin with. So if you guys want to know more about the drone and the battery, I'll put the battery in the description. But the battery that I use is the Tattoo R-Line version 5.0, 1480 mAh, 6S 150C FPV racing drone, 22.2 V LiPo battery pack. And so like I said in the beginning, I just want to make this a disclaimer. I'm reading it like that because I'm still learning about batteries. I'm still learning about FPV. I'm still learning about the basics, and I am in no way shape, or form a professional FPV drone pilot. I am learning, and I am on the, like, literally learning as I go. So that's why I'm learning with this as well. So straight out of the box, this thing is beautiful. So you got the beautiful green accents on the back. Beautiful. The propellers are nice. Now look at mine are all chopped up right now. I gotta actually switch this out. Mine are all chopped up. Catch the focus. Mine are all chopped up because I did crash this. So as you can see, it's missing a couple of bolts right here because I did have to take this frame off. So I actually broke this right here, this arm, and this is a brand new arm. So I bought the frame and then I basically just put it back together. So the Evoque F5, honestly, it's not that heavy. It feels great quality. It has great carbon fiber. It's built really well. Now I still got to tie in some of these screws at the end of the day, but this is a really solid drone. This uses the DJI O4 system for the camera. Camera quality is great. So technically, it's pretty much the same, pretty much the exact same camera on both drones. This connects to my DJI headset, the version 3. So very, very nice. And then for the controller that I use with this, there's many different controllers. I've seen a lot of people use the DJI controller. I don't use the DJI controller. I actually use the Radiomaster Boxer. So this one is the TBS Crossfire version, so I have to put a expansion module on the back. I don't have it plugged in right now, but it's behind me. So I use TBS Crossfire. I'm not fully knowledgeable on the difference between Crossfire and ELRS yet. Many professionals will advise you to use ELRS. Other professionals will have you use TBS Crossfire. For me, I just chose Crossfire because I didn't know which one to choose, and I like it. It's cool. So far, it's working. I did have a major crash with this that I did want to share. I was using TBS Crossfire, but I think it was on my end. I think I didn't set everything up properly to where I was flying and randomly the drone lost connection mid-flight, and it just lost connection and just fell out the sky. And so I don't have any, maybe for you pros that, you know, you've been flying FPV drones for a while, maybe you guys have some tips on why that has happened. But yeah, TBS Crossfire iFlight with the Radiomaster paired with my DJI goggles on my first flight with it, was out there, or actually not first flight, it was a couple flights in. I wasn't flying too far either. I was behind the building, a brick wall, so that might have lost connection because of that. But lost connection, I fell out the sky. I'll show you guys a clip of what that looks like. So as you guys saw, obviously the crash there, but you have two antennas on the back, two awesome antennas. You also have the crossfire antennas right here, down here, angled horizontally. These are really cool. The straps strap around the battery, and then you have some great propellers as well. These motor systems, honestly, are great. I've had no issues with them. A couple of the differences between the Nazgul F5 and the DJI Avata 2 is, one, obviously this is gonna be tremendous power value over the Avata 2. This flight, I think the top speed is upwards of like 60, 70 miles an hour. I can't remember, I don't have the manual up in front of me, but when you're on this, man, this thing pumps. Like, you just barely flip the throttle and this thing's already going. For the experienced FPV flown pilots, obviously you know what I'm talking about. For you people that are getting into it, that you haven't really and you're on the fence, this is actually kind of dangerous. You just gotta be careful, because I've seen a couple people almost chop their fingers off. Obviously you can't chop your fingers, but they've cut their fingers really bad because these blades, they'll grab it or whatever. The Avata 2, really good for beginners. I would probably recommend this first, because I did this first and I had a bad crash. So this wasn't too bad of a crash. I crashed, but I've been learning on this, and this is a really good learning tool. Now, obviously, I spent a lot of time on the video game on Steam, you know, the drone simulators and all that stuff, but nothing really prepares you for being live and flying and with the goggles and in the environment. It's just totally different. When you're locked in and you're having fun, and then sometimes you make a mistake live and then you crash the drone, so it's okay. So the difference with the two is I did crash this one is fine, I crashed this and I broke an arm. So obviously the speeds were a lot more faster, I was a lot higher, all that stuff. So again, you could even see down here, it's coming up, I still have to fix it. That's so funny. But yeah, ultimately, if you're looking to get into FPV, this Nazgul Evoque F5 is amazing. I love it. iFlight, you guys are fantastic with drones. Obviously, a lot of you guys fly iFlight. I have no bad reviews about this drone in particular at all. I'm looking forward to flying more with it in the future once I finally fix it, once my batteries come in, and then I'll be able to get you guys some more footage. But that's all that I have. So I hope that you guys liked this tutorial. I hope that you guys tune in for the next one. And again, my name's Anthony. This is Prdgy.Media, and I'm the founder of Prdgy.Media. And I look forward to having more discussions with you guys about FPV. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.